What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Pat and Dan Show. We're live for episode 3, fresh off a Yankees loss. That's 4 in a row now. I'm Patrick Hennessy, joined by Dan Rourke. How are we doing tonight, Dan?
Doing good, man. I feel like every time we do this, like there's a total different narrative from the last episode, and that could not be more true with this episode. Last time we were on was the day before the Boston series. Riding high, feeling good, and I think I've said this a few times now. Season low point.
Yeah, no, we've said it so many times. But listen, shout out to everybody currently in the chat. Let's spam those L's in the chat for the Yankees just because, bro, another pretty bad loss tonight. But let's do attendance/roll call. Let's see who we got in the chat.
Myself.
Listen, shout out to Yankee Fan for Life. We got Chibuzi, Lori, Antonio, Jarrell. We got 1, 2, Dylan, Chibuzi. Who else? We got Jonathan, John, Tony, Alex. Appreciate you all for stopping by. I'm sure I missed a bunch of you, but really do appreciate you guys. Dan, I say we kind of start things off before we kind of dig into like the current state of the Yankees, right? And before we talk about what happened tonight, I say we kind of look back to the Boston series because, like you mentioned, like last time we were live for episode 2, it was the day before the Boston series, and we the whole point of the episode was us discussing how important that Boston series was for the Yankees moving forward, right? How it was going to be a season-defining series for the Yankees, and they walked into Boston. Got swept, bro. They really didn't even put up much of a fight, if we're being honest. And then you put Cole in such a tough situation in Game 3 on Sunday. Expect him to kind of salvage the series. He had one of his worst starts as a Yankee. It just seemed like everything that could have went wrong in Boston went wrong. And I think now you're kind of walking into this Angels series. You already lost Game 1. Like, momentum for the Yankees right now is, like you said, it might be at a season low.
I'd say it is, yo. Like, the way I saw it after the Boston series, which... real quick on the whole Cole thing, that to me, unless I'm forgetting one, that has to be his worst start as a Yankee, right? Like not even just the circumstances, like that was brutal. But anyways, after we lost the Boston series, my mindset was division hopes, like they're gone. Now that doesn't mean like we can't come back and win the division. Like it's obviously possible, but I'm not going to think about the division, right? Wild card spot, trying to sneak into the postseason. It's still June. We're above 500. I feel like anytime you're above 500 and it's June, you got a shot, no matter what the circumstances are. But and I just tweeted this out. If we go on to lose this Angels series, which is a 4-game set, so we'd have to win the next 3. If we go on to lose this Angels series, like I'm dropping all postseason hopes for this team. Now that does not mean, fair. But that does not mean like that they can't make the playoffs or that like it's impossible or that it's like unrealistic to think that they could, because they obviously can. Once again, it's still June, but I'm gonna let them surprise me rather than disappoint me because like there's only so much. Like I can do as like Mr. Optimistic to keep putting faith into this team. Now I'm gonna keep watching regardless. And I know you are too. Like we love the Yankees. Yeah. Like it's in our blood, literally. Not literally, but you know what I mean.
No, yeah.
Not literally. It's just tough night, bro. Tough weekend, and this was just like I thought the Cole game was a cherry on top of an awful 3 days. This really just makes it feel real in a way that we lost this game. It's like, man, like maybe this really is. That's how I felt today. Like maybe this really isn't our year.
Yeah, 1,000%. I think the way you kind of described it was perfect, right? Tonight's game against the Angels kind of instilled the fact that the Yankees are one of the most inconsistent teams in baseball. And I think you kind of touched on that when we started things off here. And we're like, it seems like every time we come on, we have a completely different narrative about the Yankees. And it just goes to show how truly inconsistent they are. Like we said, walking into Boston, bro, that was like one of our high points of the season, right?
Bro,
You're
7-2
walking into Boston. We were all happy.
Yeah.
And
I was on my way home. I remember I was at the office that day, and I was driving home. Got home perfectly at like 6:50. Dude, like I had an extra pep in my step that day. I was so ready, bro. I got myself Chipotle. No, not Chipotle that day. I brought home Popeyes, which I don't do that often. I got Popeyes that night, bro.
What, the
nice
chicken sandwich?
Coke Zero. Yeah, bro, and it was fantastic. I was all ready to go, bro. Geared up, had a couple brewskis, and like, I don't know if the rest of the year 2021 will peak the way I did 5 minutes before first pitch, because like. Unless the Yankees go on a crazy run, which is still possible, but I'm not going to expect it at this point. Unless they go on to a crazy run, like what exactly is there to look forward to with this Yankees season after what we just endured over the past 4 days?
But that's something fair to say. And that's why, like, bro, it's so weird because I feel like we had the same discussion a month ago. But, like, here we are almost entering July, and the Yankees are still in, like, that mediocre position where it seems like they just can't get on that hot streak to kind of elevate themselves in the American League East. And now that you're 0-6 against the Red Sox this season, like that doesn't make it any better. And Dan, I think you're going to agree with me when I say this.
I know what you're going to say.
I get so pissed off, bro, when
09.
people mention the 2009 Yankees were 0-8 against the Red Sox. Shut up. It's
I know.
not the same team at all, bro. It pisses me off even more like in the beginning of the season when the Yankees were like, what, like, let's say 5-10 to start the season. And then people are like, well, the 1987 Yankees started off 5-11 and they won the World Series. Like, it's just
Yeah,
stupid.
especially with like the
There's no
2009 team.
comparisons.
And like there's like two different ways somebody could say it. One way I get insanely pissed the way you are, and one I could like understand. Like you could look at 2009 just from like a mathematical standpoint where like, okay, it's possible they could just totally flip the season around against the Red Sox, but don't you dare compare the talent. And this is something I've been thinking about a lot over the past like few years when I look back at the 2009 team. Bro, that team is like low key. It's never looked at as one of the greatest teams of all time, but like it's up there in a way. Like if you actually break that team down, the greatest infield of all time, that's an absolute fact. And bro, like you look at like the outfield and like the starting pitching on that team was considered the weakness, and it was still a pretty damn good staff. You had CC the ace. AJ Burnett had a good year as a Yankee that year. Andy Pettit, that was like the 1 year Jabba was half decent at times, right?
Yeah,
we had
Phil
Phil out
Hughes
of the bullpen. Yeah, but obviously Mo and stuff. And dude, do not compare this team to the 2009 Yankees, which is funny coming from me. Because if you don't remember, there was a point where I was riding so high. I was like, man, after the trade deadline, we could be better than that 09 team.
Oh, yeah.
That was nonsense. That was me.
But I kind of called you out on that.
For sure. And like, but that was kind of me saying like individually, each player has potential to be so good that this team could be, like in comparison to the rest of the American League, like a powerhouse, right? Clearly that's not the case,
Oh, yeah.
And like, I don't want to like say we should sell because that's not even possible, with Chapman not like having a no trade. He's not going to want to leave the Yankees, and like same with Britton. I think he has a no trade.
Struggling now.
Somebody we could get some for Chapman, but like point being, like I don't know if maybe we shouldn't like buy. I'm not saying we should sell. Maybe we shouldn't buy the way things are going. Right? Like
Here's my thing. That would be the biggest mistake, though. I think the Yankees need to either go one of two ways. You either sell or you buy. Like,
when you say sell, though, are you saying like blow it up type sell, or are you saying?
I'm not saying blow it up. I'm saying like a 2016 kind of retool deal. Because personally, I think
fine with that.
No, but Dan, hear me out. I think the Yankees would have a better chance of competing in the second half of the season if they do a 2016 retool kind of thing, rather than kind of just standing pat and rocking with the roster that they have. Because if you notice in 2016 when they did that, and they go out and they get Tyler Clippard, and then they call up Judge and Austin, I think that would be the equivalent of like going out like this trade deadline, selling like, I don't know, bro, you're sending like Clint Frazier to Texas for Kyle Gibson, something stupid like that, and then you're calling up like Hoy-Jun Park and Trey Ambergy. That could be the equivalent to what happened in 2016.
I'm with you in like a general sense of like I'd be on board with retooling now. If we go out and get Kyle Gibson, that's buying. That is buying if we get Kyle Gibson.
I don't know.
I'm not sure what his control is. I mean, how good of a year he's having, like that's a move. Like if you're doing him, like you got to give something legitimate up. And Clint Frazier's not that piece. But I'm somewhat on board with the whole 2016 thing, and there is like a whole month of baseball left. So we're talking, 4 weeks from now. But I would be down to, like, and nothing great about the 2016 team is that like once you trade away and like once you start that retooling process, like all expectations are out the window, So like any slight stretch of success is way more fun than like the current roster, because like we're still under, in a way, like World Series or bust, type mindset. Whereas like if you do sell everybody off or retool, trade away Chapman, Britton, whoever, all of a sudden like expectations are out the door, right? And you call up these kids, you call up Ambergy, you call up Park, you might as well just bring up Debbie for the hell of it if we're not going to be competing this year, and just like see what they got at the big league level and just kind of retool for next year. And it goes past just like, seeing what talent that we have. Like if we were able to, dump Chapman, dump Britton, and dump's not the word because we get something back for them or else we're not getting them up. But in terms of the financial situation, like that helps us a lot going into next year too. So it's definitely a thought.
Which I think is stupid we have to talk about. But as the New York Yankees, we have to talk about the financial situation.
No, that sucks for sure. But I mean, no team should ever commit $30 million to two relievers,
It's fair.
Yeah.
But listen, I do want to talk about like Park and Ambergy a little bit more in depth, because I think at this point, like we were talking about them as kind of like a pipe dream in the past few weeks now. But I think the Yankees are in a current state where I think calling both of them up would be like a serious possibility. But before we get into that, shout out to Julio with $5 dono. Appreciate you, Julio. He says, "What's up, Pat? Tell Peter I said hello. Hey, you've seen Emmanuel Rivera from KC. I told you he will make the big leagues a while back. Watch out for him. Do you know who Emmanuel Rivera is?"
You're asking the wrong guy, bro.
That's the guy who Chapman walked, no? Who didn't have a career hit? Yeah.
Is he on the Yankees?
Dan,
is that him? Oh, no, I remember the situation. Sure, I don't know his name.
No, yeah. But appreciate you for the $5 dono, Julio. Dan, we also got a $2 dodo from LA Yankee King. Shout out to you, LA Yankee King. He says Yankees need to retool. That includes DJ Mayhew and Voit.
Okay, well, let me just speak on that. DJ Mayhew isn't going anywhere. One, if DJ's starting to hit the way we've seen DJ in the past, he's looking good over the past couple weeks, right? Then he's a guy, honestly, I'd want to keep, And two, it's not large enough of a sample size of success over the last 2 weeks to where you can fully buy into that he's all of a sudden back. Why would a team want to take on 6 years of DJ LeMahieu? They wouldn't.
It's true. No, it's very true.
You're not trading away Voit. You don't trade away Voit who has team control unless you're getting something that makes the current team better, right? Like, say we could give up Voit. I wouldn't want to do this at this point. But say we can give up Voit to get either like a starting pitcher or a legitimate outfielder that would help us win this year, or like vastly improve this team. Like, you don't trade away Voit. You don't trade away guys with years of control that are valuable assets unless you're getting something significant in return.
It's fair. Listen, also shout out to Andrew Allen with $2 dono. Appreciate you, Andrew. He says this is the only thing I look forward to anymore.
Honestly, bro, facts. I was saying this to Pat beforehand. Like, it is nightly. This is like literally therapy for us coming on here after. I was looking forward to this since like the 8th inning on, because once DJ and Judge got out, like, I couldn't even pretend to be optimistic about this game. That's what I was looking forward to the whole time. Like, anytime that we're down late in the game, if it's like the 6th inning on, I'm just saying, like, man, look, let's just see what happens when we get through the top of the order. If we don't succeed with them, if we don't score with them, the game's over. And that's how I felt tonight. So once Judge got out, that was like, okay, Pat and Dan show, and then I'm going to sleep.
No, same. But listen, Dan, so kind of going back to what we were talking about before, right? The whole like Hoy-Jun Park, Trey Ambergy thing here. As I mentioned previously, why you look pissed off?
No, because I don't understand. Michael Kudo saying Dan still thinks this team's a great team. What did he say? When I literally just said that I'm basically giving up on the postseason. It makes no sense. Are you even watching the show?
Can't let the chat get to you, Dan. Dan, how you letting the chat get to you?
And I think he follows me on Twitter. I think he's a nice guy, so I'm not bad. It's just in general, bro. I'm hot right now, bro. Not even hot. I'm just like miserable. Not miserable. I don't know, bro.
Man, we were just in good spirits 5 minutes ago.
I know. Whatever. And this is what I'm trying to tell myself, bro. When I was watching this team and I was coming to grips with this team may not make the playoffs, here's what I'm saying, bro. Like, okay, sure, maybe my life sucks because my favorite baseball team is going to make the playoffs. But you know what I'm going to do, bro? If they don't, I'm still going to look forward to every day being able to have my career, be watching baseball, and still watch Aaron Judge every single day, put up good at-bats, put up a good season. I can still hopefully watch Garrett Cole one out of every 5 days, put up good starts, hopefully. There's still positive things to look at this team, so that's what I'm looking forward to, yes. But am I a little bit on edge that the favorite to come out of the American League, the New York Yankees, probably aren't even going to make the playoffs? Yes, I'm a little bit on edge, Pat.
Okay, no, obviously I get it, and I think a lot of people in the chat are as well, but I think what we have to remember at the end of the day, as much as we love the Yankees, bro, at the end of the day, you have other things to enjoy outside of Yankees baseball.
Like what?
Bro.
No, Dan. I understand what you're saying, but I understand what you are saying. Not all of us are boys with Logan Paul. You can't let the Yankees
control your life.
Not all of us are boys with Logan Paul. Relax. Everything to do with and it's very much like this for you, Pat, and I don't mean this in like a rude way. It's not rude at all because you're fucking friends with Logan Paul. Everything with me is baseball, and I know it's mostly that for you, but it's one tier step above for me, bro. Everything. Like, I wake up in the morning, bro, like, I go on social media. I go on Twitter, bro. Like, it's all baseball. And, like, bro, I go to the library. I pick up the New York Post every day on the way, and I read the sports column, bro. Like, if I don't have baseball, what do I have? Seriously. And that sounds like the most virgin thing to say. I know. But that's literally how it is. That's just what it is. It's baseball or nothing. So if I don't have that, if I don't have a successful Yankees team, bro, like,
no, I get it, but at the same, Dan, it's like this, right? Let's say you're in a relationship, right? It's like the most toxic thing ever to use that person in their relationship as your only source of happiness. Bro, you need other sources of happiness in life or you're just going to be disappointed.
Okay, but here's the thing, though. That's different. The Yankees, they never go away. Their success, sure, goes away, but like I know they're gonna be there in a sense. That sounds so deep.
I always use that. At the end of the day, you could always turn on the Yankees.
If I like stub my toe really hard in the morning, okay, that sucks, right? But I know 7:05 at night, I'll be chilling watching a baseball game, and that's not gonna change. Like I still
chilling isn't really the word.
Chill. Well, it's more just chilling. I'm still chilling because I am good at like.
You're so not.
No. The one thing I am good at is that like.
Dan, you almost got like Twitter had to send you a wellness check email.
No, I understand.
But moving on, kind of going back to what we were talking about. Hoy-Jun Park, Trey Ambergy, bro. Looking at we were talking about the scenario a couple weeks ago, and it was kind of far fetched. But right now, I don't think there's a better time to kind of look at like calling these two up, bro. And we talked about this a couple days ago off air when I was like, Dan, I think you have to call both of them up as a pair. You know, like when you go to the animal shelter and they're like, yo, you can't adopt one dog without the other. Bro,
like
you
Judge
have to call. Yes, it's literally a Judge Austin or like a Cano Melky situation. You call them both up and see what they could do in the big leagues. You're not telling. I might go on a mini rant right now because, bro, we can't go a stream without mentioning Brett Gardner. You cannot tell me that Brett Gardner can continue playing in center field for the New York Yankees. The dude sucks. I'm sorry, I've never actually fully committed to this. Brett Gardner is awful, and he has no value on this Yankees team. Dan, you could throw me his weighted runs created plus from the first week of June. I don't care. Brett Gardner cannot be on the New York Yankees anymore. He cannot be starting. I don't care about loyalty. I don't care about nostalgia. Call up Trey Ambergy, give him a shot, and see what he could do.
I agree with you. Brett Gardner shouldn't be starting. I'll say that. He's going to be maybe I just know he's not going to be released or DFA'd or anything. I know what you want. You want August 12th.
I want him to retire.
You want August 12th to August 13th of 2016 right now.
Yes.
Goodbye, Brett Gardner, similar to how it was goodbye, A-Rod, and then the very next day you call up, then it was Judge and Austin, and then in this case tomorrow would be Ambergy and Park. I know that's not going to happen. They're not going to – Gardner's going to be on the team for the rest of the year. I don't think he's coming back after this year. Regardless,
but you agree with that he should be on the team for the rest of the year?
But it means nothing to me in a sense because I'm so firm Brett Gardner should not be starting, and that's what I was about to say. Regardless of if the Yankees are competing for the playoffs this year, if they try to sell off and retool, Brett Gardner should not be starting for the Yankees this year. And to me, having him on the bench for 2 months until rosters are expanded, that's not a problem for me, bro. It really isn't. It's going to be interesting to see what the Yankees are going to do. That's really what, I guess this whole podcast or the show is about, right? I don't want to call it a podcast. It's not a podcast. It's a show.
It's a show. It's a show, chat.
But it's going to be interesting to see what the Yankees do. Are they going to try to – because what happens, bro, say right now it was July 28th, not June 28th, and they're at 500. What do you think they're doing? Are they buying? Because you know what makes a big difference, bro? I'll tell you what makes a big difference. I will be feeling a lot better if – what are we, 5 games out of a wild card spot right now or 6? I don't even know. Say we're 6 out, right? If we were the third team, there's the top 2 wildcard teams and then there's a third team, then it's different because you don't gotta surpass anybody, right? You kind of control your own destiny in a way. But right now, I'm pretty sure the Blue Jays are ahead of us. The Mariners, I think, are ahead of us. So it's not just some straightforward path. We have roadblocks to get to the actual roadblock, which is trying to get into the second wild card. So it's tough, bro. It's tough. I'm having a mental breakdown on this show, bro.
No, I get it. But Dan, that's what we're here for.
And you may not even realize it, but I'm handling myself rather well right now.
No, you are.
Understand.
Fairly well. No, I don't think you guys understand. I don't think guys understand how bad Dan gets. You haven't broken anything lately, right?
Dude, I've been so good about that. I really have. When my dad redid my room a few years ago, he said to me, it's just listen, this is the last time I'm painting your house before we move out. Or I'm painting my room before we end up moving out later on. You do not put any holes in this wall. And I've stuck by that. And it's done. I've matured in a way too. I wouldn't want to do that. And it was putting holes in the wall is stupid. That's stupid. And I truly mean that's fucking lame. But it's tough, bro, not to want to punch something. I'll punch a pillow here and there. It's tough not to when people are don't let sports affect your life, bro. How can you say that when it is my life? I feel bro, I literally when I say I'm a Yankees fan, my entire life is the Yankees, bro. I am the Yankees, bro. I feel that way. Everything.
Right.
No. I'm saying me, Dan.
In your head.
No. Everything I'm about is what I'm saying. Is the Yankees, bro.
Oh, sure.
From the second I wake up to the second I go to sleep.
Yeah, but that's what you chose, Dan.
And it's not. I mean, listen, I'm doing all right.
You chose this life. The life didn't choose you. You know what I mean?
In the grand scheme of things, bro. Do you see that clip I posted yesterday? I'm not even sure. I don't think you're a big Star Wars fan or not. But it's
bro. We've talked about this, and my birthday is May 4th, and all I get is May the 4th be with you. I've never seen Star Wars in my life, and I never plan on seeing it.
Whatever. But anyway, it's real quick. This is clip from Star Wars Episode 2, and I put a tweet out there where it's in quotes, somebody's oh, it's just a sport. Don't let it control your life. And it's Anakin saying, you're asking me to be rational. That is something I cannot do. And that's literally what it is, bro.
Dan, but here's my thing, right? We're looking at the Yankees right now. Are you expecting them to win? Watching tonight, I mean, all right, tonight's game was kind of an oddity because Dylan Bundy on the mound, you were expecting him to win. But I mean, who knew he was going to have heat exhaustion and just vomit on the mound? But let's say going into tomorrow or Wednesday, for example, with Ohtani on the mound, are you genuinely walking into that game expecting the Yankees to win?
No, I'm not. I'm not right now.
So how are you still being let down, bro? I stopped being let down by this team in April.
No, because here's the thing. I'm there right now, bro, where I'm giving up on the idea of making the playoffs. But I'm not officially putting it into writing just yet because if they win just by chance, which is possible if they win the next 3 games of the series. Okay, they won the series. That's all fine and dandy. Great. But once they lose another game in the series, because you cannot split. Like I said this before the game today, bro. They split the series as a failure. So once they lose another game, and say it's Thursday, I'll come on here right after that game where they lose and then split the series, and I'll say, like, I've given up hope on the playoffs. I'm not ruling it out, but I'm there. I'm basically there, but I'm not I'm not going to officially say it until they don't win this series.
No, it's
They're
fair.
probably not going to. So whatever.
Dan, let's say one thing, though. I mean, you mentioned, like, let's say the Yankees lose one more game, they split the series. But let's say, hypothetically, they win the next 3 games of the series, and then they end up taking 3 out of 4. I'm still not going to be satisfied because at the end of the day, I don't care what you do against the Angels. It's what you do against the good teams that matter. You don't have to worry about facing the Angels in the postseason. You don't. You know who you might be facing in the playoffs? Boston, bro. And they just got swept by them in Fenway Park. And they got swept by them at Yankee Stadium last month as well. So, bro, I don't care if you take 3 out of 4 from the Angels. I genuinely don't.
I just want to face somebody in the playoffs, bro. And in order to do that, they got to beat up on the bad teams, right? Like,
I know, but Dan,
as I said
talking
before,
about
listen,
like mental strength, wouldn't you just prefer to not make the playoffs than have another heartbreaking postseason? Because that's what we're setting ourselves up for.
No. Nah.
You wouldn't prefer not to make the postseason.
I value postseason appearances, even if they don't go on.
I don't, bro.
No, because, dude, there's nothing like a playoff game day. Like, nothing, bro. Even this past year.
Even if it ends in a loss.
No, that blows. Obviously, I don't want that. Like, you don't root for that, but like.
And then it just gives the organization false hope. Nothing will change in this organization unless they miss the playoffs entirely. If the Yankees make the playoffs and let's say they lose in 4 games to the Rays, Aaron Boone is coming back next year as manager.
No, I don't think so.
Yes, he will.
No,
I guarantee.
Unless if they make it to the World Series, he might come. I think Boone, unless his team like say does a total 180, with like the 1978 Yankees, something like that, and they go on to like deep into like the ALCS maybe, then Boone might come back. Pat, I think Boone's done. And here's the thing, like, and I put this out yesterday. We haven't even talked about this. I'm on the fire Boone train. And I don't even say like that, like I'm agreeing with other people. Like, no, this is solely my opinion, right? Like, I think, and it's not his fault, majority of these things, right? But at some point, like managers are a scapegoat. I'm sorry. Like, that's part of why
hitting
Boone
coaches.
brought on. No, honestly, like a lot of the coaching staff and in any sport, they're like scapegoats, right? So like, if Boone, like, if we're going to give him credit when this team is performing well, which we have done in the past, and people do that with managers all the time, like, this team isn't playing well. Not even just like they're not playing well, like, standings-wise. Like, we've seen them, bro. Like, what was that, like, today? Like, it's embarrassing with that play by Clint Frazier in right field. Embarrassing, bro. Like,
and DJ Mayhew, bro.
I'm going through the whole play. He can't feel the ball in right field. I don't know if his throw is bad, but 9 times out of 10, he makes horrible throws. And then, bro, not even just the throw that DJ Mayhew made. Like, why did it look like he just lollygagged that throw, right? That's besides the point. Yeah. Whatever. It was a horrible play. They just look lifeless and terrible on the field 99.9% of the time. And even if it doesn't actually fall on the manager, I'm sorry. To me, it does. I think Aaron Boone should be fired. And the way I see it is, right now, we're not on pace to make the playoffs, obviously. And if we don't make the playoffs, nobody can tell me Boone is coming back. So why not do it right now? Unless you can't think of anybody to replace him, then fine. Because you got to have somebody to replace him.
I've been on that fire Boone train like since the beginning of the season. Like, how much longer can you have a manager and just settle for mediocrity in that sense, bro? Especially in the offseason. I think we talked about this in the offseason when Brian Cashman kind of had an interview, right? And he was asked about like Aaron Boone, and because he had an option this offseason. He might not even would have returned. But Cashman said, we love Boone. We think that he's going to be our guy for the next 10 years. Bro, how do you say that about a guy that hasn't even taken you to the World Series?
No, and we've talked about this before. I understand where he was coming from, and I'm fine with him picking up the option. What do you mean?
It's worded really strangely.
No, but what he means by saying that is, ideally, Boone's our manager for the next 10 years, because that means things worked out. That means we won a World Series this year. That means we won another one either next year or in a few years, because in that case, yeah, Boone would be the manager for 10 years, right? And hey, in terms of bringing back Boone for this year, like going into 2021, I was fine with it, yo. And I'm one of the few people that actually understood what Boone said when he said, we've been a lot closer to reaching our goal of like being/winning the World Series than people think. Because like the Yankees have had a lot of, I don't want to say tough breaks, but like, bro, the games have been decided by think about it, bro. Like obviously 2017 with the Astros, and take the cheating aside. I mean, we went to Game 7 against the eventual World Series champions, right? 2018, Gary Sanchez, if that ball against Craig Kimbrell goes a foot farther, there's a Game 5. It's a walk-off grand slam.
Narrative on Gary has changed as well, by the way.
2019, bro. I'm sorry. Any Astros fans watching, many people suspect whether it was a buzzer or something, the Astros were cheating that year as well. And I'm a firm believer of that. If you were cheating so blatantly in 17 and 18 and it worked so well, why are you stopping? There's 2019. In 2020, bro, We went to Game 5 against the eventual AL champion, and it was decided by a home run that you could argue that if Chapman doesn't give that one up, right, which obviously is a big if, maybe somebody else hits a solo home run for the Yankees the very next inning, and we go on to win. You know what I'm saying? So, like,
Man, but
no,
what's your point here? That the Yankees have just had like fluke losses?
no, but what I'm saying is, like, it's losses that you can't necessarily blame on Boone going into this year. And you're talking to a guy who put
No, but the Yankees were in these positions because of just the lack of production from the team and Boone himself. Bro, why was Chapman even in that game in Game 5?
They should have kept Britton in. Yeah, sure.
Okay, so
no, sure. But like, I don't like. Why did Chapman Chapman still shouldn't give up a home run? You know, like it's like in hindsight, yeah. He should have kept in Britton, but at the same time, like you're still giving the ball to one of the top 5 relievers in baseball. You know, and I'm not defending Boone right now here, bro. I'm really not. What I'm actually trying to get to, bro, is what's pretty ballsy of me. You know, Boone follows Yankees Avenue, right? And I put on there. And
I saw that,
and I tagged him. And people were saying that's kind of messed up with me, but honestly, the way I see it is like it's almost like a say it to your face kind of thing. I did that almost out of respect to tag him. In that.
No,
you know what I'm saying? Like I don't want to make it seem like I'm just like a low blow type deal. It's like this is what I think, and I think Boone's a great guy. Like I think he's a very nice guy. He'll probably get another manager gig after this, right? But
yeah,
what I'm saying is I think it's the writing's on the wall, bro. It's time for somebody to go, and it's got to be him with the way things are going.
I agree. But listen, speaking of that, we have a few donos that we have to touch on here. Appreciate all the donos, everyone. But shout out to Andrew Allen with another $2 dono. Appreciate you, Andrew. He says, "What major pieces go if the Yankees don't make the playoffs?" I think this kind of refers
to this year or the deadline.
I'm assuming no. If the Yankees don't make the playoffs this year, like who's going after this season?
Offseason?
So I think like coaching wise, obviously, I think we would have an entire coaching switch up. I think kind of the only guys that would stay would probably be like Nevin, Blake. But I think Tim's is gone, Boone is gone. As far as player wise,
about that though, I don't know. I mean, like I have nothing wrong with that. Well, because I'm not sure if the pitching coach, maybe not the pitching coach, because Larry stayed when Boone came on, but like I'm sure Nevin would go because
you think
not that I've anything against Nevin, but like the coach usually will pick his own, like the manager usually picks his own coaching staff. You know, like when Boone was brought on, like our third and first base bench coach, they were all dropped, and Boone brought on his own guys. That's usually how it goes. Actually, I think Blake will stay. I take that back. I think I think Boone's gone if we don't make the playoffs. I think everybody to do with his coaching staff is gone. And as for like pieces on the team, keep in mind we only have one major free agent after this year. It's Corey Kluber. He's not coming back, obviously. So I mean, it's going to have to come down to trades, right? Clint Frazier won't be here. I don't know if Miguel Andujar will be here. I would trade him off, but even if not, like I don't even want to have him compete for like a backup job. If I'm being frank with you, and you would just have to. I don't know. I'm trying to think like. The infield, I feel like, is so set unless you trade Glaber, you know? And I want to do that, but it's tough because his value is so low right now unless he picks it back up. Because what I really want to do, bro, I will take a 7.4, like a 750, like a league average offensive bat that's like a low contact or a low strikeout, high contact guy that plays solid defense. I'm basically describing Anderson Simmons, who I think is on a 1-year deal. I'm not sure. But at the same time, I don't even know if that's the move because we got to get a left-handed bat. So maybe you shouldn't even look him up, bro.
Maybe no, it's a weird situation.
I would say Adam
Frazier. Really
I would say Adam Frazier's the move, but he doesn't play shortstop, you know.
But Dan, we talked about this past offseason, right? We were kind of looking at the ways the Yankees could improve this team, and they have so many guys locked into spots because it's an issue because they're not necessarily like under contract for a very long time, like a Gio Urshela, for example. But it's like he's locked into that spot, so here's the thing. It's not like you're going to improve there.
It's like as a team, you're like, okay, we need to make changes, and then like when you actually look at the team, like go, position by position, like Gio, you're not getting rid of him. I wouldn't want to get rid of him. Voit, like I don't think they would get rid of him. DJ, he's not going anywhere. Voit, if you could do something like I said, if you could improve the team, like get a left-handed bat, maybe you could trade away Voit, get prospects for him, bring in Adam Frazier. He plays second, DJ goes to first, something like that. But it's going to come down to what's really going to improve this team. It's the outfield, and that you can address this year if you want to really try to make a run at the playoffs because. Bro, like, I know it's been talked about, but, like, has it really – when you actually break it down and analyze it, the production we've gotten from the outfield, outside of Judge, of course, is, like, disgusting, bro. Like, horrible.
It's awful. Yeah.
I'm sure it's historically bad. I don't know the numbers. So, let's just take this deadline out of it, right? Like, in the offseason, I would like to bank on the Yankees getting 2 left-handed bats that are outfielders, you know? What I would do is this. Judge is your center fielder. He's played a damn good center field. Injuries, not a question to me anymore. I don't even think about it. I was hardly thinking about it before. He's not injury prone, and he's proven that. He can play center, unless there's a center fielder in the market that you can get, then that's different. Get a left fielder, that's left-handed bat. Get a right fielder, that's a left-handed bat. And please, for the love of God, have Aaron Hicks come into camp trying to win a job. Okay? Do not bank on him as your starting fielder. Because 1, he's regressed defensively. 2, he's gotten a little thick around the waist. And 3, who knows if he's going to be able to hit coming back from another surgery. Okay? There's
Dan,
that.
I think you described it perfectly. I think the issue right
Of course
now
I did.
is
Am I
that
wrong?
you're gonna get so much hate for that.
He's
joking, by the way, Chad. But listen, kind of like I think bottom line of what we're saying is the Yankees obviously have a bunch of upgrades that they need to be made. But I just don't know if there's a possibility to even make those upgrades at this point. But listen, we have a couple more donos to hit on. Shout out to William Flores with the $5 dono. Appreciate you, William. He says, Hal should hire me as CEO of Baseball Ops, Pat as manager, Dan as GM, DFA Gardner first move, trade Frazier for a bag of Skittles, and Stanton peace.
You don't
Dan,
want
would
me
you
as
want to be
GM?
GM?
No, I'm far too emotional for that, as you can see.
You would sell off the team if we start off 0-3.
I'm telling you, I could be a bench coach though. I could be the bench coach Boone needs because when I'm pissed,
I would be manager though.
Word. Okay, I'll be your bench coach, bro. I couldn't be manager because I don't consider myself some baseball guru in the sense of in-game decisions, right? There's a lot of time. Listen, excuse me. You're looking at a guy when the Yankees put in J Happ for Debbie Garcia. I thought it was a genius move. Genius move, right?
No, you didn't. Did you actually?
Yes, I did. Yes, I
That's
did.
Terrible.
I said regardless of if this works out, it's a smart move, right? So there's a lot of moves that say Boone will make that work out. That at the time, I'm like, man, I don't think that was the right move, and it ends up working out. I'm like, man, I guess that was the right move. So in terms of in-game baseball intel, I'm not the guy. But in terms of the bench coach, to be able to chit chat with you back and forth, kind of debating in-game decisions and going at certain players when I have to, that I would be all down for.
All right, whatever. But listen, moving on to the next dono here. Shout out to Clay with the $5 bomb. Appreciate you, Clay. He says, love the stream. Minute 29 in your pregame. I said Michael King would go 4 1/3. 6 hits, 3 earned runs, 5 Ks. Not perfect, pretty damn close. Let's talk about King for a second. Appreciate the dono, Clay. But Michael King, he's in a really weird situation right now, right? Because I think he gets a lot more hate than he kind of deserves. I mean, he was thrown into such a weird spot here. I don't think he's necessarily a starting pitcher, right? When we saw him in kind of that long man role in the beginning of the season, kind of what he's built as, we saw him flourish, right? Remember that game against the Blue Jays? He went 6 innings, no hits, I believe. I think those are the spots where Michael King flourishes. I think he was just kind of thrown in, and they're kind of just yo, King, you're our new fifth starter in the rotation. And I think he's in a weird spot. And I think he's kind of done a decent job so far. I think right now, Dan, I don't know if you're going to agree with me because I think you're a Tyone guy, but in a do or die game, I think I'm taking Michael King over Jameson Tyone.
If we're at home, I'll take Tyone. But listen, you bring up how King might be unnecessarily hated, right? And I'm not going to say you're wrong. I guess I agree with you because he's set up to be hated. He's not a starting pitcher. He shouldn't be have to start on this team, right? Here's what Michael King, what his ideal role should be. Remember the exact role David Hale had a couple years ago? That's what Mike King
wasn't bad at it.
He would flourish at. It's like the long man, I don't want to say mop-up guy, but the long man when it's you're down somewhat significantly, but you want to win the game, right? Say, your starter shits the bed, you're down by 4 runs in the 4th or 5th inning, put in Mike King, and he'll probably give you 4 innings of 1-run ball, right? And, it's I don't want to say overblown narrative. That's not true at all, but it's a tired narrative. Yes, we know Michael King, he cannot pitch in the 1st inning. It's just a matter of time before the Yankees either implement an opener on his starts on the days he pitches, or just put him in the bullpen entirely. And bro, at some point, just start Nestor, open Nestor, and then put in King. Why haven't they done that yet? It's shocking to me that they haven't done that. And I'm not getting too into. I'm not going to get too hype about Nestor with how good he's pitched. Because it's still kind of a small sample size, but he's looked tremendous. He pitched well again today. I think he had a good outing today. Yeah. So just do what you did in 19 with instead of it being Green to Nestor, have it be Nestor to King with the opener if you have to. But to me, bro, the opener, I'm actually not a big fan of it because I think it just shows when you have to use an opener.
Wait. I thought you thought the Devi opener idea was genius, though.
No, but I didn't look at that as an opener. That was more just strategy based to have them flip their lineup.
Okay.
That's not the way I look at it. And openers, when the situation calls for it, I'm fine with it. Like I said, I think King, if you're going to start him, you might as well just have an opener before him, right? But when you are forced to go to an opener, I feel like that just shows the organization not doing their job. You shouldn't be in a spot where you need to use an opener. You know what I'm saying? don't think I'm
But
wording
it's
it right.
not even that. The Yankees don't view it that way, right? The Yankees view like all these little cute moves that they do as not them being like insufficient in their roster construction, but it's them thinking that they're so much smarter than everyone else. And that's exactly what pissed me off in that J-Hap Devi Garcia move. Like, I hate to go back to the 2020 postseason, but I think that's just a prime example of the Yankees wanting to prove that they're so much smarter than everyone else, and it always ends up backfiring. That's what the whole Wandy Peralta situation is all about. They want to prove that they're so much smarter than everyone else. They fleeced one of the best teams in baseball right now for their reliever that the Yankees are going to turn into an absolute stud. Bro, if Wandy Peralta was actually that good, why would the Giants trade him? A team that's in first place in the National League West right now. Please let me know.
Well, I'll
if he
disagree
was
on
really
that
good.
last part with the whole first, because this was about in late April. They traded him, so they probably thought
I think they were still pretty good at that point.
Well, no, they were good, but they probably
yeah.
didn't buy into like the long-term success of it. But listen, one, let me just say, like, yeah, at the time, I was like, I literally thought it was a genius decision. Like, I was in my head too. I'm like, man, the Yankees are freaking smart, man. Let's go. But in hindsight, like, I will gladly admit I'm wrong. Like, it was dumb. Like, it really is dumb, you know. And like, I'm fine admitting that because, bro, I'm some 20-year-old douchebag, and I was about to give my address. I'm some 20-year-old bro that like, I'm not the manager of the Yankees. You know, like, I'm not paid to make these decisions. I'm not smart enough to make these decisions, right? So like, I don't feel bad for being wrong at the time, right? But it's just like
fair.
the thing that really pisses me off looking back at it, and it's just overall, and it goes back to like what I'm talking about with the open right now, where you shouldn't have to have an open because you should have the Yankees should have had a clear starting pitcher to start game 2 of the ALDS. And looking back, they had it in Debbie. Debbie should have just started. I don't know how he would have done, you know? But like even right now, like Mike King shouldn't be having to start. He really shouldn't be. You know, but what happened? What happened? Cashman went out and signed Corey Kluber, which I hated the money that they gave him, but I didn't hate the idea of signing him, you know, but that clearly didn't work out. And now he's not going to come back to what, September, they just said? So that signing, regardless if he comes back and absolutely shoves, that signing is a bust, right? Tyone not looking
He threw a no-hitter, though, Dan. He threw a no-hitter.
Yeah, he did.
No, but listen, Dan, here's my thing. Like, kind of just shifting back to, like, the current day Yankees, right? Let's kind of switch it to a fun side here. We've had so much, like, toxicity, so much sadness, so much stress. Let's do a little fun scenario here, right? Dan, I'm giving you the 2021 New York Yankees, okay? And I'm putting them up in a 9-inning game against the 2021 Rail Riders. Who's winning?
Yankees. That's like when people say,
but no, the one thing, Cole isn't on the mound, though, bro.
Nah, Yankees. That's like when people say, like,
I disagree. 1,000%.
Take like the 2020 Jets, and they'll be like, man, would like Clemson be able to beat the Jets? No, like the Yankees are still like they're Major League Baseball players for a reason.
Disagree.
They still are one of the best baseball players in the world. The roster of the best baseball players in the world, technically. Nah, I mean, listen, it's baseball, so like,
because I'll tell you this.
Let me say this real quick. When you're doing like conversations like this, you got to go out of like a 10-game sample size. Because I mean, like right now, who's the worst team in baseball? I don't know. The Pirates. Like the Pirates right now could win a game against like the Dodgers or the Astros, whoever. Like one of the best teams in baseball. But like in the grand scheme of things, over a 10-game stretch, the Rail Riders might win maybe 2 games out of the 10. Is my opinion.
They would win more. But I mean, just kind of what my theory is like you're trying to tell me like the Rail Riders wouldn't win because they're not major league competition, right? My argument here is that you look at, I would say half of that Rail Riders team, they would be starting on a lot of major league teams, bro. You look at the Rail Riders team, bro, they're better than the Pirates.
No, but you also have to factor in a big part of like the development process or like what makes AAA players different than like major league players is that like I'm almost guarantee you that the AAA starting staff wouldn't be able to pitch to the Yankees. That they would get rocked.
The pitching staff would be different. The pitching staff would be where it counts.
That's not the game, bro.
I'm looking offensively though, bro. Like the Rail Riders lineup could go toe to toe with the Yankees. I'm sorry, like I hate to say it because it just sounds stupid, but I think kind of examining it right now, bro. There's so many guys in that AAA lineup that I would love to see in the Bronx, and I think that they're better. Bro, if we kind of go like position by position, give me that AAA outfield over the Yankees Major League outfield. I'm sorry. Even though Aaron Judge is out there, give me an outfield of Trey Ambergy, Estevan Florial, and Hoy-Jun Park any day over Clint Frazier, Brett Gardner, Aaron Judge. That's not a crazy thing to say.
That might, no disrespect. I think that's the dumbest thing you've ever said. No offense. I don't want to use the word dumb. That was blasphemous, I think.
It's not. You're telling all right. So you're telling me I'm taking 2 out of 3 of those guys over 2 out of 3 of the Yankees outfield. Are you not?
Pat, but you're just choosing to remove the like a historically good offensive player, a historically good like overall player, the best Yankee that we've had since. But you said you're taking. You
Who's
just
saying
said you're taking the outfield.
I'm
Oh, so
taking
that,
2 out of 3 of those guys. Therefore, that means I'm taking the Rail Riders outfield. I'm taking
well, no,
majority of them,
I
bro.
thought the way I heard it was that like if you had to choose an outfield, you'd have
Yeah.
the left center right field alignment of the Rail Riders over the Yankees left center right field alignment. So that
Yes.
means Aaron Judge is not playing.
Yeah.
No.
You make that sacrifice, bro. You
No.
take 2 better hitters out for 1. I'm sorry.
No, but
That's
Pat,
what
we
I'm
still
doing.
listen. I think Amberg is going to succeed at the big league level. Like, I can't just assume that he is though. Like he doesn't have one major league at bat yet.
But how's he gonna get the opportunity, bro? He's 26 years old.
Well, no, you know I want him to come up. So
Okay,
we agree on
I
that.
think we all do.
I
If
mean,
anybody
listen,
in the chat doesn't want Ambergy up right now and prefers Brett Gardner, get out because we don't want you here.
You know that's not what I'm saying.
What they? No, I know. Listen, just love Aaron Judge so much you can't picture a scenario where he's not in the outfield.
Somebody just put in the chat, Pat. Let's be lighthearted. Dan, no. I'm bad with hypotheticals. I always have been. I don't know. It's tough for me to imagine.
No, Dan, I'm just trying to have a fun scenario here, and you're taking it to heart for no reason.
Bleach, and I'll have some fun. Just kidding.
Okay, that's not funny though.
I think it's hilarious.
Kind of going back to the Yankees' current day situation here. They have quite a few interesting series coming up, right? They have the Mets series, which is going to be interesting, bro. If we get swept by the Mets, I might be on the same boat as you. Twitter might need to send me a wellness email. But I mean, also, like, we're kind of looking like towards the All-Star break, and the schedule is not that light, right? We have the Seattle series, which the Yankees always seem to have.
Series, bro. Like, they're in front of us.
Yeah, it's actually crazy.
The Seattle Mariners, I just hit my chin on the mic, are in front of us.
Rant.
I'm not even ranting, son. It's just like, this is sad. It really is sad that we're in a spot June 28th, which is supposed to be the highlight of my life, bro. I love summer baseball. It's better besides October baseball. This is the best time, bro. It's just pure baseball. Everything is baseball, baseball, baseball. And what are we talking about? That the Yankees are trailing the Seattle Mariners and that their upcoming West Coast trip against them is a big series to determine maybe being in a position to get a playoff spot. What?
Dan, it's June 28th at 11:23 p.m. Eastern time, and me and you are live discussing the Rail Riders outfield compared to the New York Yankees. Like, the fact that that's even like a decent discussion at this point, it's sick in the head. It's sick in the head, bro.
I'm borderline defeated, bro. I really am.
No, but that's fair. That's such a fair statement. Chat, I think we could kind of address this right now. For anybody that's feeling defeated, should I give like a little motivational speech? I'm going to do it. Dan, you open your ears to this. Listen, chat, you wake up in the morning. You hear the birds chirping, right, Dan? The birds are chirping.
Birds don't chirp the morning after the Yankees lose, bro, and that's a fact.
Yes, they do. No, they do. They still chirp, and that's my whole point here. No matter how bad the Yankees lose the night before, the birds are still chirping. The sun is still shining, unless you live in Seattle and it's raining 90% of the time. But, bro, I think what we have to realize is, like, just because the Yankees are in such a bad place right now, bro, like, I still think that there's hope for the future. I'm sorry. Like,
Dude,
I do.
No, 100%. I don't want anybody to get that twisted by me, bro. I mean what I said before about, like, if the Yankees are making the playoffs this year, I'm still going to like look forward every day to watching that game because there's still so many things. Like I get to watch Aaron Judge, who's a generational talent. I'm not going to go on a rant about it. Like every day.
Back to Judge.
It's hard not to. But no, even besides Judge, bro, like assuming Cole's not a total bum now, which he's not. He's still an ace caliber pitcher in my opinion. I think he will be. You get to look forward to that 1 out of every 5 days, right? Chapman innings, I still will look forward to that. Stanton piss missiles, I'll look forward to that. Glaber making, competent plays at shortstop. Yay, I'll look forward to that. Like there's still stuff to look forward to, even if we're not going to make the playoffs, right? And it would be a lot more, like there'd be a lot more to look forward to if we call up Ambergy and Park and just see what they got, because that in itself is fun, even if they don't succeed.
Bro, do you realize? No, I'm not saying like in a bad way. No. Obviously not.
I was going to say, I was like, what?
Bro, I'm like sick to my stomach right now thinking about like what happens if we don't call them up. And I hate the fact that this is kind of like become like the whole idea of the episode that we're doing here. But like I think it's so difficult not to kind of like preach to the choir right now and just say, bro, at what point do you call these guys up? If it's not now, then when are you doing it? Like I mentioned, 25, 26 years old. And on the flip side of things, Dan, let's shift this discussion another way here. I don't know how you're going to feel about this. I posted a video today kind of whether or not the Yankees should be concerned about Gleyber Torres. I want to send down Gleyber Torres, at least for 2 weeks, have him work with the AAA staff down there and just see if he could reinvent himself down there. Because right now it seems like the Major League coaching staff just isn't working with Gleyber. I don't want to see him go through like another Gary stretch, right? Where Gary Sanchez has to be bad for 2 years just in order to make some sort of adjustments. Gleyber Torres can't afford to go through that period, bro.
Nah, I disagree. I think like Clint 100%, Gleyber not, because like when you've had as much success as Glaber has had at the big league level, like you just bank that he's going to figure it out, And two, like I think Glaber, there's a chance he could get traded, and sending him down to the minors wouldn't.
Because his value's at the lowest right now.
No, I understand, but do we know if it's going to get any higher? And setting him down to AAA certainly wouldn't help that value. And two, Glaber, like he's not like to me, like Clint Frazier is pathetically bad, and he's a worthless at bat. Like I still like with Clint, like I've given up hope on Clint, right? Like Glaber, like when I'm watching him, I still do feel like at any point he could kind of pick it up, right? And also too, like Glaber, he did have a stretch of like 3 weeks this season where he was like a good, consistent at bat, and that's where they slotted him up to the number 3 spot, right? Another fly in my room. What the hell?
I'm not a lot of flies.
I know, bro. I think you know what it is, bro. Like whenever like I'm eating something, because I drink a lot of smoothies, right? And like I just let those glasses like pile up, and I think they're like fruit flies. I gotta get a bug bomb. But anyways,
that's bad. No, that's really bad.
I don't think Glaber he's not bad enough to send that in AAA.
I don't know.
Like that's like maybe bro. Like if this continued into like at this point next year, sure, but like not right now. Especially too because like if we're trying to win and like as of right now, that's all we can bank on. And there's another thing I want to say about trying to win and maybe trading for somebody after this. If we're trying to win, like that's not going to happen unless Glaber turns things around, right? So like you just got to bank on that, right? And let me say this about Ambergy. Oh, I totally forgot what I was going. What was I going to say about Ambergy?
How amazing he is.
So yeah, no, sure, but whatever. So last thing we heard from Cashman was that the Yankees are going to be buying, right? And you figure that means they're going to get an outfielder, hopefully 2, right? If they are set on that still, no matter how bad today went, the Boston series went, or how bad this Angels series goes, right? If they're set on that, then maybe they don't want to call up Ambergy for the time being if they know come the time they get that outfielder, he's not going to be starting, because then you go through all that trouble of clearing a 40-man spot, all that just to have him up for 2 to 3 weeks. That I'm not saying that should be their thing, but that probably is their thinking, right?
Yeah, but Dan, here's my thing. Let's say you do call Ambergy up right now. Bro, the dude starts hitting 400 over the next 2 weeks. You don't have to go acquire an outfielder. You don't have to. And you could use whatever assets you were going to use to acquire that outfielder, and you get starting pitching. Because the Yankees aren't going to get both, Dan. Let's be honest here. The Yankees are making one move, if that, and that's going to be it. They're still confident in their roster construction.
I'd love for Ambergy to get called up after this year, or not after this year, after today, and then get an outfielder. So that way you can have an outfielder and Ambergy, Judge, and center, right? It's so tough to even have conversations about like who we're getting, because like if like are we going over the luxury tax? Because if we're not, like it's gonna be hard to even get one player. Honestly, like bro, with the outfield names that we've all brought up, specifically like the Martes, like them alone would have to either go over the luxury tax or manipulate the roster where you could afford them, because they're making more than like the $5 million that we have right now to spend before we get past the tax, So like, and same with like a starter, bro, it'd be the same deal. So it's just like I don't even know what to think in a way. Like I'm so lost right now, bro. Like it's so because like there's so many different conversations. Like one, are the Yankees is it even worth for them to buy? Are they going to buy? Are they going to sell? Should they buy or sell? If they decide to buy, do they have enough money to make it worth it? You know what I'm saying? So it's like I don't even know what to think about this whole thing, bro. I really don't.
I'll tell you
the way I see it. Just fucking call up Ambergy, call up Park, and just see whatever the hell happens. Maybe come the last week of July, if you're like 4, 5, 6, 7 games over 500, cool. Go get yourself an outfielder and maybe a starting pitcher.
I'll tell you,
I'm over in a way, Joe. I just feel like it's like either perform or don't. Like call up Ambergy, call up Park, and just see what the hell happens. And honestly, I don't
that's
care.
it. That's exactly what I'm saying, and that's what pisses me off the most about this whole situation. Like, bro, you kind of look at the Yankees right now, and I think that the thing that bothers me so much is there's such a lack of accountability. And also with the lack of accountability, there's lack of reward for good performance. And I hate to like kind of say this in a little league way, but bro, if you're performing well, you deserve to be called up. And I think in any other organization you would. Why do you think the Dodgers have flourished for so long, Dan? If they have guys that are performing well in the minor leagues, they call them up and give them an opportunity. And then you look at it on the flip side of things, you have guys in the major leagues who are so bad. Bro, awful. Clint Frazier, we talked about this. He's a liability, not only in the field, but at the plate at this point.
Let me say something about Clint, though.
Wait. Brett Gardner, he's awful. Bro, he's a liability at the plate as well. Miguel Andujar, he's cooled down significantly. You look at the Angels, for example, because we're playing them. Albert Pujols became a liability for the Angels, and he was blocking Walsh. correct? So what did they do to Pujols? They sent him on his way. And I don't understand. And that's a team that's not competing for a World Series this year, Dan. The Angels are not competing for a World Series. They could have just let Pujols take up at bats and sell
But
tickets.
I know what you're saying.
Okay, but you know what I'm saying? So the Yankees, I don't understand why they can't do that same thing and give their young studs a shot and get rid of the liabilities.
John Boy brought up a good point about Clint Frazier that got me thinking a little bit. Like, maybe the only reason they're trying to still give him at bats and not sending him down is like they've accepted that they're accepted they're trading him, and they just want to get his value up as much as possible. And if that's the case, like, run him out for a few more weeks, like, sure, I guess. Like, dude, I'm in such a weird vibe about it now. It's just like I don't even know what to do. I don't know what they're gonna do because I don't know what this Yankee team is. Like, it's so hard. It's so hard to say what they should do when you don't even know if they're gonna buy or sell, if they're gonna go for it, if they should retool. I know they said they're gonna buy, but it's like, what should they do? Are they gonna buy?
I think it's a mentality shift, bro. And the only way you shift that mentality in the clubhouse is by calling these young guys up. I'm sorry, but listen, shout out to LA Yankee King with the $5 dono. Appreciate you, LA Yankee King. Here we go, LA Yankee King. He says, okay, let me say this. This is the reason I didn't want to re-sign DJ Mayhew, because the Yankees are killing Torres by making him a shortstop. So now I was proven right. Bro, LA Yankee King always thinks he's proven right. I don't think so, bro. You look at Gleyber Torres. There's no way the Yankees this offseason could have went through the offseason and not re-signed DJ Mayhew. You just couldn't, bro.
Yeah, I think it's a good thought to, like, for some people that were like, don't sign DJ, move Gleyber to second, get Simmons to improve the defense. But it's just like, bro, like, it's so hard to say, like, we shouldn't have signed DJ, though. Like, dude, he was unreal, And, like, It's weird to have this conversation now when DJ's playing so well, Like, and
listen, Dan, I want to bring up a comment here from Henry. Pat is a ruthless, heartless person. Why? Because I'm mentioning guys on the Yankees right now that are not performing on a team that's aiming to win a World Series here, and the window's quickly closing. I hate to say that, but the window's kind of closing. And I'm a ruthless, heartless person because I want to send Clinton Gardner packing. Once again, I don't give one damn about nostalgia. I don't give one damn about loyalty, bro. Brett Gardner, you've been a great Yankee, bro. Contributed fantastically in the Yankees with your .214 career postseason batting average. You've been fantastic. You've stayed so healthy. But get off my team and give Trey Ambergy a chance, bro. That's all I ask. And Clint, too, you could go. I mean, you haven't really been around as long. So yeah.
Listen, speaking, we're getting at the 53-minute mark. I think we should bring this up because it was put in the New York Post today by Joel Sherman, and some people mentioned it in the chat. Let's just address that people say the Yankees should maybe trade Judge, And I would never consider it, obviously. I think it's blasphemous to even think about it. But, like, the thought of it, I guess because they're seeing what happened with the Red Sox, I could almost forgive them for thinking it, But I'm going to shut them down, Here's the way that – I'm not even saying, like, bro, it's just, like, here's what you say the window's closing, which, like, yeah, like the Baby Bombers era, no, it is 100%. Like, this specific window, yes. But as long as you have Aaron Judge and you sign him long-term, like, you build around him as a superstar. Like, when you have Aaron Judge, that's who you're going to build around. That's who you put pieces around to where at any point you contend, So, like, even if we do sell off a little bit this year, you keep Aaron Judge. Going into next year, bro, like, you retool, like, you literally we could honestly, and I mean this, be the favorite to come out of the AL again next year. I mean that. We really could, and like that quickly. But if you trade Judge, that's doing something the Yankees have never done before, blowing it up. The Yankees have never blown it up. And in 2016, they did not blow it up. They didn't. Yeah. It's not blowing it up, especially with the fact that they re-signed Chapman.
Even when they should have, to be honest.
Well, they didn't really have much to really blow it up with, but, like, it's just like, there's no point to trade Judge. Like, there really isn't. Unless you want to, like, if you really do believe in, wanting to win in 4 years and not next year or the next couple of years, sure, whatever. But, like, he's just simply too good. He's a generational talent.
I'll tell you what, Dan. I would be open to trading Judge under one circumstance and one circumstance only. I mean, obviously that, but also kind of like looking at it from a realistic side of things because you're not getting Mike Trout. On a realistic side of things, I would consider trading Aaron Judge if within the organization that there's something that we don't know about and they're not planning on re-signing him. Whether it be, listen, Dan, I know you're going to get pissed off, so let me finish. But like whether they're concerned about how he's going to age, especially with the injury concerns, or they think that he's too old and they don't want to give him enough years and money that he's going to be looking for. If that's the belief within the organization, and it's kind of like a Cano situation, right? rather than holding on to him and just not getting anything for him before he walks in free agency, and then you kind of want to deal him, but before that happens, then I'd be down for it. But that's only if it's 100% known in the organization you're not going to make a legitimate run at re-signing Aaron Judge and paying him the money and the years that he's going to be looking for.
Sure, but like there's no shot that's happening. Like this organization, they love Aaron Judge, and like he's the guy. Like, what are you going to do? Trade Aaron Judge and get prospects, and what are you going to hope they turn into? Aaron Judge. Like you got the guy, and very rarely the Yankees draft well. Like this, dude. If the Yankees trade away Aaron Judge, do you understand? Like we could go years and years and years before we have a generational talent that came out of the draft. No, it is true.
No, it's not. It's not true because, bro, it's very possible.
Who do we have that came out of the draft? The last guy was Jeter.
Dan,
if we don't have Judge, it's Jeter. That's it.
Dan, you're getting like really emotional right now. I know it's Judge, and we're talking about Judge not being a Yankee, and it's hard for you to grasp.
No.
But what I'm saying is, Dan,
no. Let me just say this: it's not hard for me to grip it. It's not happening. I know that for a fact.
Okay, but Dan, what I'm saying is, hypothetically, let's say the Yankees decide to let Judge walk. It would honestly be perfect timing, depending on how his how his progress goes. Jason Dominguez coming up, bro, and that would kind of just fill every single hole. And the Yankees would be like, "Well, we have our next superstar here, and he's 10 times younger, and he has 10 times more potential." I'm not talking about my own perspective here, so relax before you snap on me. I'm talking about the Yankees.
You bring up Jason Dominguez.
I'm not high on Jason Dominguez. You know this.
I'm not. I mean, I don't know why you wouldn't be, but what I'm saying is this:
why you're in love with Jason Dominguez?
I have no. You know how I am. Like
people are obsessed with him.
No, I know, but listen to what I'm going to say here, bro. If he turned into Aaron Judge, the Yankees would have scored. That's best case. I don't even think he can't be that good.
Yeah, but you won't know that until you call him up.
Okay, but I'm saying like best case scenario, he's as good as Aaron Judge. Maybe I can't even imagine that happening.
He could be better than Aaron Judge.
How? What do
you mean how?
How could he be better than Aaron Judge? What could he be?
You're acting like Judge is the best hitter in baseball. There's
one of them. He is very much so one of the best.
When Judge is at his best, sure.
Okay,
but I think it's blasphemous to say
Mike Trout.
Dan, I never said that, but I think it's blasphemous to say that the Yankees are never going to have another player as good as Aaron Judge.
I'm sure at some point when I have gray hair, yeah, sure. And no, they could literally draft somebody.
No, it could be in the next 5 years.
They could draft somebody this year. Yes, absolutely. But are you going to bank on that when you already have the guy? And Pat, it doesn't have to be one or the other. You extend Judge, and then you have Dominguez too.
But you really think the Yankees are going to do that? I'm saying we're using this as a hypothetical scenario.
They're going to sign Judge. You signed him to a 6-year deal. He's going to be with us through age 35, bro.
You're being crazy right now. What I'm saying is a hypothetical scenario where the Yankees are 100% not signing him because they don't want to give him the money in years because A, he's going to be too old, and B, they're concerned about his injury history. That's why they wouldn't want to give him the money.
But there's no reason to even have this conversation right now with Judge. He's done everything right.
You're the one who brought it up.
No. I'm saying like for people to have this conversation, like I'm addressing the conversation, but I'm saying to legitimately like think it's a possibility that they should trade him or
to legitimately think it's a possibility that Judge won't be a Yankee for life is not that blasphemous. It's not.
Well, I'm sure maybe like at age 38, 39, I'll sign a 1-year deal with like Oakland and be a DH, sure, but he'll be like a lifelong Yankee. Maybe a year or two at the end he signs somewhere else, sure. Majority of players like a Pujols type deal, whatever.
I think you just missed my point entirely.
I did because it didn't make any sense.
Bro, what do you mean it didn't make any sense? Bro,
if it made sense, I would have said it made sense.
You think that it's blasphemous to think that there's a possibility the Yankees don't sign Aaron Judge to an extension?
On this date, June 28th, yes. Now, if he tears his ACL tomorrow, sure, yes. Pat, he's done everything they could have asked this year.
But you're not looking at it from an organizational standpoint, Dan.
Yes,
they might be looking.
He's amazing. He's terrific. He's the face of the franchise.
How old is Judge going to be when he's a free agent?
He's going to be 30, and they're probably going to sign. There's a very good chance they could sign him to an extension after this year. Pat, here's what's going to happen. When they sign him to an extension, at most, he'll be a Yankee through age 37. Okay, maybe the last year.
And you think Judge is going to age like a fine wine, right?
No, but Pat.
And you think the Yankees do?
No. What I am saying is you sign Judge through age 37, right? If you sign him after this year, that's what, like a 7-year deal, whatever. Bro, to me, worst case scenario, ages 35 through 37, he's a DH that's going to hit you 30 home runs and have an OPS around 850, honestly.
So you think he's going to be Nelson Cruz?
Sure. Why wouldn't he be? Especially as a DH.
Dan,
I'm shocked at how you think about this.
Why? Just because I'm trying to think of every scenario here and think of that it's a possibility that the Yankees decide
I
they
would give
don't
you
want to
something
resign
going into
Aaron
this
Judge.
year, but there's like no reason to even think about it right now. Judge, he leads the team in games played.
Why?
You can't talk because you can't talk
Bro,
about
you
injuries.
always have to look at every scenario. I think it's so stupid to just say that Aaron Judge is automatically a lifelong Yankee. That's stupid to think.
So what? So you're saying you don't think they're going to sign him to a long-term contract?
I don't know what they're gonna do, bro. We're looking 2 years ahead.
No, but actually, this is what I'm trying to get at. Like, why wouldn't you sign Judge?
Bro, we're looking 2 years ahead. Who knows what's going to happen? And
Pat,
who knows what the
2 years
organization is
nothing.
thinking?
2 years
Dan, it's irresponsible. It's irresponsible to think that the Yankees are 100% re-signing him.
Well, that's not irresponsible because it doesn't mean anything. We're just
It
having a
is.
conversation. This is a current conversation because extension talks begin after this season. And there is a possibility that if they are going to sign him long-term, it comes after this year. Dude, okay, I would be shocked. Unless Judge gets an injury, then it's fair game that they wouldn't sign him.
So you sign him to a 7-year extension after this season. That's what you would do.
6-7 years. I mean, there's going to be negotiations with it. Yeah.
I wouldn't do it, but okay. Moving on.
So now you're literally saying now you wouldn't sign Judge to an extension.
I'm not signing Judge to an extension after this season, though. Why would I do that?
Say he was a free agent after this year. You're not signing him. I'm saying like
I would
1000%
consider signing him depending on what he's looking for. Yes, but we don't know what Aaron Judge is going to be looking for in the free agent market, and that's why we're saying it's such a hypothetical scenario. What don't you understand?
It's going to be like 30 mil over 6.
But you don't know what he's going to be looking. Dan, if he puts up 2 MVP seasons, he might be looking for a lot more money in a lot more years. You don't know what he's going to be looking for.
I'd give him that, Pat. That's
because
ideal
you're a Judge stan.
No, I hope he's in the market for $45 million because that means what does that mean? That he came off an MVP season. Yes, I would love that.
Okay, Dan. Moving on.
I don't even know what this conversation's about in a sense. It'd be blasphemous to trade Aaron Judge. He's the guy. We have the guy already.
You're saying it's blasphemous because I said I wouldn't extend him at the end of the season. That's not blasphemous at all.
No, I'm not. No,
you literally just called me out on that, but okay.
No, I did not. I did not
roll
call
the
you
tape.
out on that.
Roll the tape.
I did not call you out on that. I was saying in the general sense, signing him long term. Doesn't have to be after this year.
Okay. Dan, before we wrap things up today, you have anything else you want to touch on?
No.
Okay. With that being said, that's going to wrap things up for episode 3 of the Pat and Dan Show. Appreciate you all for stopping by. We'll be live Thursday night after the Yankee game. Oh, wait, before that. Shout out to Marcus Brown with the $5 dono. Appreciate you, Marcus. He says re-signing Judge would have been a lock if they didn't trade for Stanton.
No, because by the time you sign Judge, the tail end of his contract, Judge will take over at DH when Stan's expires.
Okay, cool. But just like I was saying, we're going to be live Thursday night after the Yankee game. Hopefully, we have a better vibe. Hopefully, the Yankees take the next 3 out of 4. I don't know.
Yo, that Amy chick, did she give a dono or something? Because she keeps saying that.
I don't see any dono. I can't go that far back in the chat. But Amy, if you donoed, appreciate you for the dono. But listen, appreciate you all for stopping by. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, turn on post notifications for more. We're going live before and after every Yankees game on this channel. Me and Dan won't be, but I will for sure. You guys know the deal. I will see you tomorrow for tomorrow's
I'm so heated right now, bro. I'm upset that we're stopping this because I just want to fucking go off. Sorry, I cursed.
About what?
I'm just pissed, bro. This whole Judge thing, it's just blasphemous even a conversation. Like, not even just with you, just like in general.
You need
like,
help, Dan. You need
no.
help.
All I'm saying is, bro, like, don't miss him when he's gone. I'm not even saying it to you. I'm saying it to the rest of you guys. Like, don't miss him when he's gone. Like, from 2013 to 2015, bro, 2016, like, all we ever wanted was homegrown generational talent. And guess what? You have that right now. You have one of the best players in baseball. Even if he's not top 5, you have one of the top 10 players in baseball. Homegrown. That's all we ever wanted. He's the face of the franchise. He's done nothing but represent this organization with absolute class. And he performs so well on the field. He's done nothing to get the hate that he's gotten from this franchise. And to even consider trading him or like not signing up long term, like who do you want to sign long term then? Honestly.
No one.
Do you think Fernando Tatis is just gonna come sprout out of the garden out of nowhere, bro? No, and you need to bring up Jason Dominguez, bro. He'd be lucky if he ever turned out like Aaron Judge. Lucky.
With that being said,
you should pray to the heavens that he turns out that way, bro. I will too, because he won't.
With that being said, you guys know the deal. Stay happy, stay healthy, stay safe. I will see you tomorrow for the pregame at 6 p.m. Eastern time. Peace.